welcome back to the second session on the mineral calcium. In this video, I will deal with the absorption of calcium, plasma calcium, and the factors regulating plasma calcium level. We will start with the absorption of calcium. The calcium absorption mostly occurs in the duodenum, the uppermost part of the intestine. You know that intestine consists of three parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. In duodenum, the absorption of calcium will take place and it is an energy dependent active process. Calcitriol that induces the synthesis of calcium binding protein in intestinal cell. Calcitriol is also known as the active form of vitamin D. Calcium binding protein synthesis is increased in the intestinal cell by vitamin D. Parathyroid hormone induces the synthesis of calcitriol. Thereby, it can also increases the absorption of calcium from the intestine. The factors causing increased absorption are vitamin D, parathyroid hormone, acidity, amino acids like lysine, arginine, and lactose. The factors that causing the decreased absorption are phytate and oxalates. These phytates and oxalates form insoluble salts and interfere the calcium absorption. Phosphate also causes the decreased absorption of calcium. The high content of dietary phosphate leads to the formation of an insoluble calcium phosphate, which prevents the calcium uptake. A dietary ratio of calcium to phosphate is 1:1 to 2:1 is ideal. Alkaline pH also reduces the absorption of calcium. Similarly, high content of dietary fiber and some malabsorption syndromes are also found to be decreasing the absorption of calcium from the intestine. Malabsorption syndrome, we can say that free fatty acids reacts with calcium to form insoluble calcium soap. This is usually observed in impaired fat absorption. Impaired fat absorption is a malabsorption syndrome associated with the digestion and absorption of fat. In that disease, the intestinal free fatty acid level increases as it is not readily absorbed from the intestine. This free fatty acid reacts with calcium and form insoluble calcium soap, which ultimately reduces the absorption of calcium from the intestine. Next, we will see about plasma calcium. The normal concentration of serum calcium is 9 to 11 mg per 100 ml. There are different forms of circulating calcium like ionized calcium. These are biologically active form. 50% of the circulating calcium is ionized calcium. 40% of the circulating calcium are protein bound and they are non-diffusible. Whereas 10% calcium complexed with citrate, phosphate, bicarbonate, etc. The ionized and citrate or phosphate bound calcium are diffusible form. Ionized and citrate or phosphate bound calcium are diffusible from blood to tissue. In an adult person, 5 mg per deciliter of ionized form of calcium is there, whereas 1 mg per deciliter of anion complexed calcium is there, and protein bound calcium are 4 mg per deciliter. Next, we will see about the factors regulating plasma calcium level. Three hormones are involved in the regulation process. First one is vitamin D3. It is otherwise known as calcitriol, which is secreted from kidney. Second one is parathyroid hormone or PTH, which is secreted from parathyroid gland. And third hormone is calcitonin, secreted from thyroid gland, among which parathyroid hormone and vitamin D3 act to increases the plasma calcium level, whereas calcitonin acts to decrease plasma calcium. Calcitriol is the physiologically active form of vitamin D. It is also known as 1,25 dihydroxycholecalciferol or calcitriol. This calcitriol, even though it is a vitamin, it is considered as a hormone because of its hormonal like action. It has target organs like intestine, bone, kidney, etc., where it specifically acts. And the action of calcitriol or 1,25 dihydroxycholecalciferol is similar to steroid hormones, and its synthesis is self-regulated by feedback mechanism. Next is the vitamin D and absorption of calcium. Vitamin D can increases the absorption of calcium and phosphate from the intestine. The brush border surface, the calcium absorbed passively. From the intestinal brush border epithelium, the calcium can be absorbed passively without utilizing the energy. But for its transport from intestinal cell to blood, the calcium absorption needs energy. So this can be achieved by mainly by two mechanisms. One is sodium calcium exchange mechanism or pumping out the calcium cal binding complex. How it carries out its function in intestine. So I told you that calcitriol acts like a steroid hormone which can diffuse through the cells. So steroid hormones are also hydrophobic in nature. Through the hydrophobic plasma membrane, steroid hormone can diffuse into the cell. And after that, this calcitriol binds with the cytoplasmic receptors. So here you can see calcitriol binds with the receptors located on the cytoplasm of the intestinal cell, and which leads to the formation of calcium receptor complex. And this calcium receptor complex then binds with DNA molecule, specifically at the hormone responsive element of the DNA molecule. So this receptor calcitriol complex which binds with the active hormone responsive element of the DNA. And what happens after that? It starts to synthesize the mRNA required for the synthesis of cal binding, so which initiate transcription and a translation process, and that results in the synthesis of cal binding, a calcium binding protein. So the increased level of cal binding which can promote the absorption of calcium from the intestine. Now let's see how calcitriol carries out its function in kidney. Calcitriol or vitamin D, which increases the absorption of calcium and phosphorus by renal tubules. It acts along with parath hormone or PTH of parathyroid gland. Calcitriol stimulates the absorption of calcium at distal renal tubules and decreases calcium excretion so that it ensures the normal level of serum calcium. Now let's see how calcitriol or vitamin D carries out its function in bones. When serum calcium level increases, which stimulates osteoblast cells. Osteoblasts are matrix forming cells of bone that stimulate alkaline phosphatase, and osteocalcin and collagen synthesis will be increased, and finally which results in mineralization of bone. When serum calcium used for the mineralization of bones, that ensures the normal level of serum calcium. So what happens when the serum calcium level decreases? When serum calcium level decreases, which differentiates osteoblast cells and they leads to the formation of osteoclasts. There results in demineralization process, and along with that the activity of pyrophosphatase and collagenase enzyme will increases, that results in demineralization or bone resorption. So when demineralization occurs, which increases the serum calcium level. So this is how calcitriol functions in bone. When serum calcium level increases, that ensures mineralization process and make sure that the serum calcium level reaches in normal value. When serum calcium level decreases, which helps to the resorption process of bone and thereby ensures a normal serum calcium level. So this is just a summary of the role of vitamin D in plasma calcium regulation. So I told you it acts on three different areas like intestine, kidney and bone. Calcitriol increases the intestinal absorption of calcium and phosphate by increasing the synthesis of calcium binding proteins. How it acts on the kidney? It increases the reabsorption of calcium and phosphate and also decreases the excretion of both. The action of calcitriol in bone is that mineralization of bone mainly occurs due to this hormone that coordinates the remodeling of bone and increases the bone mineral density. Now let's see the role of parathyroid hormone in the maintenance of serum calcium level. Parathyroid hormone is secreted by two pairs of parathyroid gland which are located on the thyroid gland. You can see here. And this PTH is a single chain polypeptide with 84 amino acid and its molecular weight is around 9500. Low serum calcium level promotes the secretion of parathyroid hormone. So parathyroid gland mainly consists of two different types of cells, oxyphil cells and chief cells. This chief cell synthesis, store and secrete parathyroid hormone. So this parathyroid hormone which is present in the chief cells as granules which will act on bone, kidney and GIT, and these organs consist of parathyroid hormone receptors where it can specifically act. So this parathyroid gland produces parathyroid hormone which is an 84 amino acid containing polypeptide and its molecular weight is around 9500 and which stimulate the osteoclast. So osteoclast originates from bone marrow and which increases the blood calcium level. Actually this parathyroid hormone which is synthesized as pre-parathyroid hormone that consists of 115 amino acids and it is synthesized in the ribosomes of the chief cells, and through proteolysis process this pre-parathyroid hormone is converted to proparathyroid hormone. That proparathyroid hormone consists of 90 amino acids. From that intact parathyroid hormone will be produced. It is having 84 amino acids which may be stored in the gland or which can exert its action, and that is the principal form goes to blood circulation, and the active parathyroid hormone is having 84 amino acids and in which the first 30 amino acids of parathyroid hormone are biologically active. This is just the summary of the parathyroid hormone PTH. So PTH act on kidney, thereby calcium reabsorption will be increased, which can act on bone, and that also helps to increases the calcium level in serum. So indirectly, parathyroid hormone act on intestine, thereby calcium and phosphate level will be increased in the serum. Okay, actually the parathyroid hormone promotes the synthesis of calcium binding protein by the action of vitamin D, so that it ensures the normal level of serum calcium. This is the summary of the action of calcitriol and PTH in elevating the plasma calcium level. When plasma calcium level decreases, the parathyroid hormone level will increases. So increased parathyroid hormone acts on the renal tissue or in kidney where reabsorption of calcium will increases, thereby which maintain the plasma calcium level in a normal condition. Similarly, parathyroid hormone also helps in bone calcium mobilization, so that resorption of bone will occur, and that also helps to maintain the plasma calcium level. Parathyroid hormone increases the synthesis of calcitriol, and the increased calcitriol will increases the intestinal absorption of calcium and thereby which can maintain the plasma calcium level in a normal condition. Another important hormone that is involved in the maintenance of calcium level is calcitonin. It is a peptide hormone that contains only 32 amino acids, and this calcitonin is secreted by parafollicular cells of the thyroid gland. It is a functional antagonist of parathyroid hormone. Calcitonin is a functional antagonist of parathyroid hormone which decreases the plasma calcium level. So thyroid gland secretes calcitonin. Calcitonin helps to lower the calcium level in blood. This is achieved by means that calcitonin act on the intestine and inhibits the calcium absorption by the intestine. So this calcitonin, which can promote deposition of calcium into bone, so thereby calcium will move from blood to the bone, that inhibits the osteoclast and stimulate osteoblast cells. Osteoblasts are matrix forming cells that helps in the bone formation. Similarly, calcitonin acts on kidney where it inhibits calcium reabsorption in the kidney. Calcitonin acts on kidney and inhibits calcium reabsorption, so that more amount of calcium will be excreted through urine, so thereby which can maintain the normal calcium level. This is just the summary of the regulation of calcium homeostasis. When blood calcium level increases, the thyroid gland starts to secrete calcitonin. Increased calcitonin leads to decreased calcium absorption in the small intestine, decreased bone breakdown, increased calcium excretion in the urine. So thereby blood level of calcium will be returned to normal. So what happens when blood calcium level is low? Low blood calcium level stimulate the parathyroid gland to release parathyroid hormone. This parathyroid hormone stimulate the conversion of 25 hydroxycholecalciferol to 125 dihydroxycholecalciferol in the kidney, or else which can stimulate the synthesis of the active vitamin D in the kidney. Or calcitriol and parathyroid hormone together stimulate increased calcium absorption in the small intestine, increased bone breakdown, as well as decreased calcium excretion in the urine. So thereby blood level of calcium return to normal. Now there is a reflection spot question. Which one of the following hormone is essential for the absorption of calcium from small intestine? Parathyroid hormone, calcitonin, 125 dihydroxycholecalciferol, 25 hydroxycholecalciferol. These are the options. Find out the answer. Next is the calcium phosphate ratio. The ratio of plasma calcium to phosphate is important for calcification of bone. The product of calcium into phosphate in children is around 50. You know that the normal level of calcium is 9 to 11 mg per deciliter. So the product of calcium into phosphate in children is around 50. In adults it is 40, and in rickety condition it is less than 30. Excretion of calcium partly excreted through kidneys and mostly through the intestine. Excretion of calcium into feces is increased in vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D or calcitriol is essential for the maintenance of normal level of calcium in serum. When there is any deficiency in vitamin D, which leads to the excretion of calcium through feces. Calcium in teeth does not undergo decalcification to regulate the plasma calcium level, even though a rich amount of calcium is there in the teeth, which will not be utilized to maintain the normal serum calcium level. Mainly the resorption of bone, that is the process which helps to maintain the normal serum calcium level. A recap: the normal concentration of plasma or serum calcium is 9 to 11 mg per deciliter. Three hormones are involved in the regulation process. They are vitamin D3, otherwise known as calcitriol, which increases the serum calcium level. Another hormone is parathyroid hormone or PTH, which also helps to increases the serum calcium level. And third one is calcitonin, which is an antagonist of parathyroid hormone, which can decreases the serum calcium level. The site of hormonal action are intestine, kidney and bone. That's all today. Thank you.